Good day, artists. Today, for this video, we're going to be talking about how to stop your one-point perspective lettering from going off to infinity and beyond if we just want 3D block lettering. So we've already got our lettering spaced. We have our block letters. We have all our one-point perspective linear lines going towards the vanishing point. Choose how far back into space you would like your lettering to go. I think I'm going to go maybe like right here. And I'm going to turn my paper like I like to do because it's kind of easier for me to see whether or not it is parallel, right, to the top and the bottom of the paper if I can see this pencil line over here. And then I'm going to hold it down very lightly. I'm going to draw myself a line going across the top. That is where my letters will be stopping. Now, we're gonna, the same way that we did our lines to the vanishing point, we are gonna kind of start to work from the top of the letters down. So some of the simplest letters, right, are the A and the E, because as we've talked about, what this side does, this side does. So since this is a horizontal line, this will also be a horizontal line. Okay, that is one surface of our three-dimensional letter. The E is also horizontal across the top. So we're going to take that, and sometimes I just kind of like to darken the lines that I'm keeping. I find for me it makes it easier for me to see. Okay, so now we have some curves, right? This is a curve, those are curves. For the curves, whatever this does, that does. Okay, so from here, it comes up a little bit and then it comes back down. And sometimes we use what's called muscle memory. If you very lightly trace from here and swoop down, from here and swoop down, because this is actually the top of the letter, we're going to start here. We're going to go up and swoop down, kind of like that. These are tricky. See, that doesn't actually look right. So I'm gonna redefine that and see if I can't get it to, that's a little better. Let's see, up, over, up, over. Okay, so maybe it's a little more like that. Okay, that looks a little better. All right, and then I'm gonna darken this line right here. Because I have this so far back into space, I would not be able to see the inside of this letter C. Okay, if I had stopped them very close to the letter, then I would probably need to, right, kind of go like that. But because I did not, I do not. There we go. So I just feel like that's not quite right, but okay, we'll figure that out. So for this one, right, I've got my line right here. This line does what this line does. And just like we did when we were making our illusions of three-dimensional space with the cubes, I'm actually going to straighten that out just a little bit. It just bothers me. There we go. Okay. So there's my new line right there. Okay, so the simplest way, I think for me, I'm just going to spin the paper all the way. Am I going to do that? No, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to line this up with this line on my A, and I'm going to try to pull it away while keeping the same amount of distance from that line. I know that sometimes, you know, our ruler moves in a different way. That's fine. But I'm going to move it back until it connects or until it touches this little corner right here. And just like we did when we were drawing our three-dimensional, you know, rectangular prisms, to be fancy, let's see, I'm going to lay my pencil along this line so that I can kind of eyeball whether or not that is parallel. All right, I'm going to draw my line this way. But as soon as I run into that line from the P, I stop. Okay. Now, I could, just to make it even more clear, kind of erase some of my lines as I go. Okay, well, we got to do that one, but that's okay. So this one comes straight across and then it turns. I feel like it's easier for me if I turn my paper. It's going to come straight across and curve. Okay, this one does what that one does. It may not be perfectly aligned, but that's okay. Boop, there we go. Erase that. Now the S is going to be a little tricky because it has so many curves. So let's see. So this curve, you know, pretty basic curve. We're going to curve that way and curve down. Curve this way and okay, there you go. That'll do. Okay, just like that. But we also have to address this curve because we can see it. So let's see. Let's pretend, okay, that this is the bottom part of our S that we can't see because it's behind the S. And we can kind of see how far down we would need to come here. It's going to kind of go like that. This curves, that curves. Okay, so let's see. That curves. It's kind of like that. So then I can erase. It doesn't. Well, it's not perfectly aligned, but there we go. Okay. So now we have ended our letters before they have gone off into infinity and beyond. We will erase all our little guidelines. And we have our, oh, I forgot the E. Look at that. Sometimes you have to kind of eyeball it and say, does that make sense visually? Because look at that. See this little corner hanging out? This is a vertical line. This will also be a vertical line. So we just have to make sure that it is lined up vertically with the sides of the paper. And, ooh, let's see if you can see it through the C. Oh, look at that. Just a tiny, tiny little smidge. Look at that. Okay, now we're finished. Ending our letter, going back into space. So there you have it. And now we will decorate our letters and there we'll have it.